Hello, Namaskar, and a very good evening to everyone who has connected with us for NCRT's live interactive program. I am Simran Singh, and viewers, you have all joined with us through eVidya channel number 6 to 12. Besides this, there are so many different mediums through which you can all connect with us, and you can also participate in our live conversations by raising your queries and your questions in the comment section of our YouTube channel that goes by the name NCRT Official. And once again, a very warm welcome to everyone for connecting with us in the third day of our 5 days 5 hours online training program, where we are discussing at length about cyber clubs. So while talking about cyber clubs, we all understand that how important cyber safety or cyber security is, because we are all using digital space in one or the other way. At the same time, there are so many aspects of cyber clubs, of cyber safety. So today we are going to deal with or discuss on the activities related to psychological and physical aspects of cyber safety. In the live conversation, if you have any of the queries, of course, you can share your questions in the comment section of NCRT Official, that's our YouTube channel. Besides that, you can always give us a call at this contact number that is flashing on your screens. It is 8800440559, and you can also reach out to us through these mail IDs. The first one, particularly for cyber safety, is cybersafety@ciet.nic.in, and you can always share your queries with us at training.helpdesk@ciet.nic.in. So let us quickly have a look at our computer screens in order to understand more about the 5 days 5 hours training program. So all you have to do is you have to type ciet.ncrt.gov.in on your laptops, on your devices, and there are so many options available for you. This is the website of CIET. Under activities, just click on workshop/training. If we scroll down, and you can see that there are different activities. Under current activity, just click on online training cyber clubs. We started it out on 4th of March. Today it's the third day of our training program. We are going to conclude it on 8th of March 2024. Now here is a detailed banner of the areas that we have discussed so far, like cyber clubs, the concept, the need and the scope, and the activities on the technical aspects of cyber safety. Then tomorrow it's going to be about the socio-ethical aspects of cyber safety, and day after tomorrow we are going to discuss more on the legal domains. Now this information over here is particularly with regard to the post-session activities. Students, teacher educators, you can all participate with us. This is the detailed program schedule for all of you, with the names of our esteemed panelists, the banners, the video links for all of you. Also, we will be soon uploading the presentations for each and every program. Once we scroll down, you get to know how you can participate in the live conversations, and also how you can connect with us through the quiz. So step number 1 is registration. You can register yourself by clicking on this link or either by scanning this QR code. Then you have to watch the live training programs that are running through different mediums. Then if you participate in the post-session activity and receive over 70%, then you will also receive a certificate from CIT NCRT. The post-session assessment link, it will be uploaded on 8th of March, and the closing date will be 29th March 2024 by 6 p.m. So we keep on saying that your feedback matters a lot to us, so you can always write to us through this link that is flashing on the screens, or either by scanning the QR code. So let us begin our today's conversation, and for that I will be introducing our expert for the program. In the conversation here in studios, we have with us Ms. Akanksha Rajguru. Namaskar.
Namaskar.
A very warm welcome to you. Ma'am is PhD scholar from AIMS, and she is going to throw more light on the physical as well as the psychological aspects of cyber safety. So I'll request you to introduce today's topic to all our viewers.
Yes. So today we'll be talking about what are the potential cyber club activities on the psychological and physical aspects of cyber safety. We will talk about what cyber clubs are, its importance in promoting physical health and psychological well-being. We will then go on to how psychological or mental well-being is affected in cyberspaces, and what are the activities and ways in which it can be implemented. Next, we will talk about how physical health is impacted in cyberspaces, and what are the potential activities that can be implemented in cyber clubs so as to ensure both a physical and mental well-being.
And ma'am, as the topic for these 5 days online training program, it revolves around cyber clubs. So, how physical or psychological well-being are being promoted in cyber clubs?
Okay. So cyber clubs, to my understanding, are organized groups within schools or educational institutions that focus on enhancing our awareness, knowledge, and skills related to various aspects in the cyberspace. They could include digital literacy, they could include online safety or cyber security. Now, why is it important? Why is a cyber club important? Is something that you might want to ask. In the session yesterday, we talked about the technical aspect, wherein we talked about technical skills, data safety, data security, device security. Then the next aspect is the physical safety, wherein we talk about the impact of cyberspaces on the physical health and in the physical realm, how it affects our postures, how it affects our body, our organs, and how we can take preventive measures. We can incorporate some postures, some activities in our schedule to be able to deal with physical health and ensure that physical health is safeguarded while using cyberspace. Next, we look at the psychological aspect. These digital devices affect different and a variety of aspects of our life, and hence impact our mental well-being in a very significant way. We look at how it impacts the mental well-being and also look at some strategies that can be adopted to ensure well-being. Next, these cyber clubs give us a platform to deliberate on the social and ethical consideration, to see what is right, what is wrong, and have fun conversations about how it impacts our social well-being as well. Another very important aspect is the legal aspect, wherein we are made aware of our legal responsibilities, and God forbid if something goes wrong, then what is the way forward? What is it that we should know legally about our rights, about the way forward? Cyberspace provides us a lot of opportunities. It provides us any and every sort of information. It connects us to multiple people. So there are a lot of opportunities that can be tapped. Cyber Club is one place where we can understand what these opportunities are and also safely navigate the digital spaces to prevent any threats from becoming potential problems in our lives. Next, I would like to focus particularly on the physical and psychological well-being aspect in cyberspace. So the cyber clubs can provide us an opportunity. The students can connect on a deeper level outside their classrooms. They can strengthen connections and be there for each other in times of need. It also provides an opportunity to create safe spaces where individuals can express their thoughts, feelings, and emotions without the fear of being judged, and knowing that their peers will be there for them and will stand for them. Now, a critical aspect when it comes to creation of safe spaces is we as students need to be responsible. We need to respect the privacy of our peers. We need to be respectful of their emotions or whatever they are sharing. It could be personal, it could be distressing, and to keep it to ourselves and not make fun of it is critical in ensuring that cyber clubs become safe spaces for expression. Next, it provides a platform to have discussions and brainstorm and get new insights about different aspects of cyber safety. Then an important aspect or cyber clubs are important because they provide us an opportunity for collaboration, and students can come up with creative solutions and find all the best possible ways to implement them. During the discussions, a pool of potential responses are created, and You can reflect on each of those responses, pick and choose whatever suits your needs best, whatever time you are willing to invest, and find whatever is best suited for you. Next is the feedback. So you can bounce off ideas from each other, offer suggestions and provide constructive criticism to help refine and improve each other's work. This collaborative process, we must understand, it's not only for only generating creative solutions, but it also helps create that bond among students in a classroom setting. Lastly, cyber clubs promote peer accountability. By setting goals, tracking their progress, and holding each other accountable, members can stay motivated and focused on achieving their targets within the stipulated time.
Alright, we are using cyberspace in so many different ways, and somehow we can say that it does take a toll on our physical as well as mental health. So why not start with the psychological influence or maybe the impact of cyber clubs, especially on the cyberspace. First of all, how in the cyberspace our psychological well-being is being impacted, and secondly, how cyber clubs can play a big role in addressing this issue.
Thank you for asking that question, Simran. Now we will specifically focus on how psychological well-being is affected in digital spaces. We have multiple devices around us. We have multiple online platforms. There is so much information coming in. There are mails, there are WhatsApp messages, there are messages from your friends on different social media applications. There is an information overload. Children often might find it difficult to disconnect in such a setting. The notifications are constant. Even if I keep my phone aside, I can hear them buzz. Hear my phone.
Are right
exactly, exactly. So it's very difficult to disconnect in such a setting. There's a fear of missing out. If I am talking to my friends and I've kept my phone aside, I am missing out on that conversation that I could have had, which was not possible, say, 5 years ago. So there's a fear of missing out, and all of this can lead to heightened stress levels. Now, a child can go out and play, but I think they would prefer playing on a video game with the same friends. So we see that there is a prioritization of digital connections over real life connections. Then we see that there's a constant need for external validation. The moment you upload a picture, you are checking again and again how many people have liked it, how many people have commented, how many people have subscribed. So there's a constant need for external validation and approval. There's comparison. So my friend went out, they ordered something nice. The first thing they did was they clicked the picture and they posted it on the internet. And the moment I see it, I feel jealous. I start comparing. I don't feel good enough given my resources and means. There's dissatisfaction, there's jealousy, there's frustration. Then there's something called digital addiction, which refers to the compulsive and excessive use of digital devices and online platforms that interferes with our daily life, relationships, and often school obligations as well. You might not do your homework because you're more busy playing games with your friends. Now, these digital addictions could range from social media addiction, gaming addiction, internet addiction, smartphone addiction, or even pornographic addiction. Last aspect is the cyber harassment, wherein it involves the use of online mediums and platforms to stalk, bully, or victimize another individual. Now, what all this does is, it impacts our psychological well-being in digital space.
Because somehow everything looks good on internet, everything is good on social media, everybody is happy over there.
Precisely. But it's not all hunky-dory everywhere.
Right.
If I am going through something bad in my life, I would not want to post it on social media. So it's a very filtered lifestyle, and one needs to be very careful about what they are consuming. Precisely. So how does distress manifest in digital spaces? There's disruption of sleep patterns and chronic fatigue. There is increased levels of stress, anxiety, and depression. There's an inability to concentrate and perform basic tasks. There's a decline in academic or work performance. There are relationship conflicts and social isolation, and sometimes it may also manifest as physical symptoms such as headaches or stomach aches. Now I'll discuss a very interesting activity that can help us understand our digital distress and triggers in the cyber space. So this activity is something called digital distress check. Often when we are using online platforms or digital devices, we feel certain emotions and they can be distressing. Some of them I have mentioned on the screen. So what teachers or student representatives could do is they could create placards for different distress symptoms. Some of them could include: cannot stop myself from using my phone, I am feeling sad, stressed or tired, I am angry or irritated, I like to be alone, I can't sleep, I eat less, I can't study for my exam. Now you could have a discussion in the class and identify more signs of distress as well. Now what the teacher does or the student representative does is that they raise one placard, and all the students who can identify or who feel that they have felt that distressing symptom in the last few weeks, they can then reflect on the aspects that I am just going to talk about. So the distress feeling is something that you are aware of, that what exactly is happening to you. Now what you do is you identify the situation, you describe the specific situation and what were the factors that triggered or that contributed to that distressing situation. The next thing that you reflect upon is emotional experience. What were the emotions that you were going through during that situation? Next, you look at what were the coping strategies you employed during that distressing period in your life. Then looking back, what is it that you could have done differently or you could have done to prevent that specific situation to occur, and also think about what you can do right now to prevent that from happening in the future. Then lastly, you look at your support system. Now, how did your family, friends or teachers support you in that moment, and what is it that you expected from them? So when you discuss all of this in the classroom, everyone knows what you went through, how you coped up, and what is it that you expected from them. So next time when you are in that distressing situation, it will be easier for them to give you support.
Sometimes actually what happens is some students feel a bit reluctant, or I should say a bit hesitant in sharing the kind of situation that they are facing in their mind. For example, if I am a shy being, I might have my fair share of apprehensions. What if I raise this placard or say that I use too much of a cell phone, or maybe I am being a point of judgment for the class around, for my peer groups. How to deal with that?
So this is where your cyber clubs play a very important role. What happens is there's something called modeling. So when one student starts talking about their experiences and others who might have gone through the same experiences, one way is they can learn about what can be done just by listening. But what also happens over a period of time is that when a lot of people start talking about things that are not okay, then I also feel motivated to share my own story. So that's where cyber clubs play a very, very important role.
Of course.
So after this discussion, you can have a discussion in your classroom and then find the best possible coping mechanisms for you in the future. Another activity, Simran, that can be very helpful is to know about whether I am going wrong or not.
Okay.
You know, so exploring your digital habits is very important. So these are some questions that you could do like a worksheet. I'll read those questions. I would want the audience to reflect on it a little bit. In the last 24 hours, which digital devices have you used? List 5 applications, websites, games that you have used along with their duration. Were there any moments where you felt you were using digital devices excessively? And how did you feel in that moment when you realized that it was excessive? Did you take breaks while using digital devices? And if so, how often did you take those breaks? How do you feel about your overall digital usage habits? And are there any changes that you would like to make? How do you think your digital device usage impacts your mental health? Do you feel a pressure to constantly check your notifications or stay connected online? If so, how do you deal with such a stressor? How has increasing use of digital devices affected your social relationships? Do you prioritize your digital relationships over your face-to-face relationships? That is also a critical aspect that you can reflect here. And how do you cope with some negative experiences that you may have encountered while using digital devices? So once you reflect on all these questions and you have a discussion in your classroom, what you can do is you can set some goals for yourself.
Actually, one of our viewers have actually reflected on that.
Okay.
And they say that the kind of devices I have used in the past 24 hours are mobile, computer and my projector.
Okay, that is interesting. And is there any device left? But my point is, it is also about what did you use it for? Was it for academic purposes? Was it for any other? Was it for gaming? Was it for watching reels on social media or Facebook or YouTube?
Again, how do we make that distinction? For example, if I'm a teacher who is using ICT tools in my classroom, so my interaction with technology or the computer devices, technological devices is way more as compared to other people. So how do I make that difference whether I am using it more or less?
Very, very rightly pointed out, Simran. What happens is that most of our lives are dependent on digital devices at this point of time. So anything we do is remotely related to use of digital devices. So there's this one activity that is actually very helpful. I'll talk about it. It's called Unplugged, taking control of my life. So what this activity does is it gives you an idea about what are you spending your time on and what could have been done without the use of digital devices. So it gives you a good clarity about where you went wrong or where you used your devices excessively, as opposed to for reasons that were justified or that reasons that were necessary. So what you do is you can perform this activity in groups of 2, where you prepare a list of all the digital activities performed in the last 24 hours. And then you exchange this list with your partner. Upon doing that, you go through the list and then you summarize your observation based on number of common activities. So it's a bonding session wherein individuals are like, we both did the same things. The second thing is that they can reflect upon is the number of activities that could have been done without the use of digital devices.
All right.
So something like spending time with my friends or sharing memes with my friends. I could have just met with them on a cup of coffee in my drawing room and have had the same amount of fun. And the number of activities that seem non-essential and could have been done. So at night when I'm scrolling through my reels, that could have been done without. So this activity gives you a very good idea about where you are spending your time on digital devices and what are the ways in which you can potentially reduce your digital device usage time. And after this activity, what you can do is you have a discussion in your classroom and basically present your findings in 2 or 3 lines, wherein you talk about activities that could be enjoyed without the use of digital devices and also give suggestions for reducing non-essential digital device usage. Now, for example, if you gave me an insight that, I could have had coffee with my friends, and I liked it, so I will implement it, and that's what cyber clubs will do. Will give us new ideas
Of course.
to reduce our digital device use and therefore the distress associated with it. Because I'm sure when you're sleeping, your head hurts, your eyes hurt because of your usage of devices. Next, we talk about cyber harassment. It essentially refers to use of online mediums and platforms such as social media, messaging applications, or even gaming platforms to stalk, bully, threaten, or victimize other individuals. Now, they can be of multiple types. I will be discussing some of them with you. Cyber stalking. It involves tracking an individual's location and monitoring their activities in digital spaces or in the real world, but through digital or through online mediums. And the aim here is to induce fear and invade the privacy of the individual. Next is something called cyberbullying, which refers to creation and sharing of offensive messages, comments, or content aimed at shaming, spreading rumors, or excluding the victims from online groups or activities. Cyber grooming. What happens here is individuals build a friendly relationship, often an emotional connection with a child over the internet, with an intention to exploit the child for sexual purposes. So initially they will try and build a bond with you, they will be very understanding, and eventually it might lead to them asking for sensitive information, them asking you to engage in sexual conversations, or even share explicit pictures or videos. Another way in which cyber harassment takes place is catfishing. It includes impersonating someone and sending messages to others or creating fake accounts. Now, a very interesting activity that can be done in the cyber clubs to become aware of the different ways and methods of cyber harassment and ways in which we as a class can help the individual who is the victim deal with the distressing situation is that you can enact different ways in which cyber harassment can take place in a school setting. You can perform plays or skits, and after the skit is over, you can brainstorm ways in which peers and teachers should react to ensure the mental well-being of the victim in question.
All right. So I believe these were all the psychological impacts that we discussed and how cyber clubs somehow help us in addressing these areas in terms of psychological domain. And the second aspect attached to it is the physical domain, because of course it affects us mentally as well as physically.
Precisely.
So let us know more about the physical aspect.
Okay. In the physical realm, cyberspaces affect our sleep, our lifestyle, our organs, our sensory organs such as eyes and ears, our posture, and so from something as small as the type of device you use, earphones at high volume versus earphones at lower volume, it can make a lot of difference in manifestation of distress symptoms associated with physical health. So we will look at individual impacts of cyberspace on physical health. The first is sleep. What happens is when we are using digital devices just before you going to sleep or during our sleep time, we are exposed to blue lights that might affect the circadian or the sleep-wake cycle as we know it. The nature of content, sometimes it's very exciting, sometimes sometimes we watch action movies, sometimes we might get emotional or we might get distressed, so that might hinder our sleep. There's a constant urge to check notifications, and it's difficult to keep the phone aside. You are like, just 2 more reels, or just 2 more memes that my friend has sent me. There are negative experiences online, so someone who is being bullied via online mediums, they might experience negative emotions, and that might make it difficult for them to sleep at night. Late night content consumption, so through the day I have been working very hard and I want to relax and de-stress a little, so let's binge watch my favorite OTT series.
So ma'am, how do we come to know that this all happening to me, this kind of impact that I am feeling physically is because of my too much usage of maybe mobile phones or too much dependency on the digital space? How to get that kind of realization?
So realization, ultimately that consciousness has to come from within, and deep down we all know that we are using the device excessively. It is just that we won't accept it because our parents are telling us that you're using your device too much, so I am not going to accept that. But after a point of time, even your body starts giving you signals. So your head starts hurting, your eye starts getting watery. So once that happens, you ideally you should not do it in the first place, but if that starts happening, those are symptoms or those are signs that you need to stop. So listen to your body when it comes to that. I think that is my only suggestion.
All right.
Then again, when you're using your devices on the bed, you often use them in incorrect postures, and that might lead to other injuries. So one activity that might actually help is my sleep report, and this will quantify that distress and listening to my body aspect that I was talking about earlier. So this is again a worksheet that the students can solve. At what time did you sleep the previous night? What was your total duration of sleep? Did you use your smartphone just before sleeping or any other device, digital device? Did you use your digital devices as soon as you woke up? And how energetic or fresh did you feel today when you know that you've used your digital devices late at night and the first thing when you woke up in the morning? Would you like to change your sleep related routine in any way? How can you create boundaries around digital device usage to ensure that it doesn't interfere with your sleep schedule or academic performance? So one way in which that could be done is at 9:30 I keep my laptop on my study table and my phone in my bag so that I am not using it after 9:30 and because that is my sleep time. Have you explored alternative activities to screen time before going to bed that promotes relaxation and better sleep? Sometimes reading a book or listening to music also helps. So finding alternatives to screen time is also essential because obviously it's difficult to fall asleep. And what are some changes that you would want to include in your sleep schedule to ensure good sleep? Once you discuss all of this with your classmates, you will have very creative answers to all these questions. And then you can pick and choose whatever suits your schedule the best. And after you do this, you write 5 sleep goals for yourself. And you stick it in front of on your bed or in front of, or as soon as you wake up or at some place that you can see it while you are sleeping. And that will ensure that you implement them and not forget them after the cyber club is over. Now, how do cyberspaces impact our ears or eyes? For ears, they impair our hearing ability. That happens when you're listening to music on very high volume or using your earplugs or earbuds for a prolonged period of time. Another symptom could be persistent ringing or buzzing. It's called tinnitus. Another symptom could be pain and discomfort or even ear infections. What will happen is if I use someone else's earphones and haven't cleaned them, that might lead to ear infections. And again, that will also cause pain and discomfort. At times what happens is because you're so used to listening to things on such a high volume, it compromises your ability to hear faint sounds in the environment, and that might affect your preparedness in times of danger. Now coming to the eyes, it causes eye strain. Sometimes you feel like your eyes are going to, there's burning sensation in your eyes, there's sensitivity to bright light, you start tearing up, there's dryness, there's irritation, you feel extremely tired, you cannot keep your eyes open, there's blurred vision, and there's also headache and fatigue. Now an activity that can help you again listen to your body carefully is it's this activity in which I have provided certain situations in which you might be using your digital devices excessively or in the wrong manner that might impact your eyes and ears, the health of your eyes and ears. So something like watching a movie of 3 hours duration on a mobile phone without any breaks, playing games on a digital device, listening to loud music using earphones, watching YouTube videos late at night. These are some situations in which you compromise your physical health related to your eyes and ears. What you do is you reflect on each of these situations or any one of the situation, and you make a comic strip about how will this activity affect your physical health in the short and long term, and in what ways can you safeguard your physical health while using digital devices in this particular given situation. So again, the creativity of your peers will astonish you and also give you very, very insightful suggestions as to how you can prevent your health getting deteriorated while using cyberspaces. Another very important aspect, Simran, is the posture. Uh, the incorrect posture over a long period of time or repetitive movements of using your mouse or using your keyboard or forceful or awkward moments can also cause something called repetitive strain injury, and this may cause damage to your muscles, tendons and nerves.
Now, again, there might be some people who are actually involved in the kind of jobs or maybe corporate work. Well, particularly we are talking about students also, if they are involved in a sort of online classes that goes on for like 2 to 3 hours, any coachings, then how to actually maintain this, how to not being affected somehow because of the digital device.
So there are two ways to look at it. The first is I don't have a choice. I have to sit on my laptop because my classes are happening here. So the first way to help yourself is to sit in the right posture. So there is a right and wrong posture that we will discuss later. So sitting in the right posture is very critical, because if you don't have an option, you don't have an option. The second thing is that you can incorporate some activities or some movements between the prolonged usage periods.
Between the intervals.
Exactly. You can take small breaks and then perform some stretching activities that will help you deal with potential problems that may occur. And thirdly, there are proactive techniques such as yoga that can help improve your overall posture. And because of that, when you're using your digital devices, your posture is correct, and any other harm that you could have done to your body will be minimized.
All right.
So these are some fun terminologies that exist, and let's see if these are part of your posture. The first is text neck. It refers to when you're holding handheld devices such as your smartphones or laptops. It requires the user to look down and slouch. That is, it keep a low head posture for a long period of time. Now this may cause headache, neck pain, shoulder pain, and may also affect your breathing at times. There's something called turtleneck. You've seen how a turtle looks when right. So overextension of the neck resulting in posture similar to a turtle. Again, it may lead to neck pain or shoulder pain, or even pain in your arms, upper back and neck. There's something called rounded shoulders, or in extreme cases something called kyphosis. It is use of digital devices over an extended period of time that causes the shoulders to be positioned forward and the rounding of the upper back, like you can see in the picture. There's something called lordosis, excessive inward curving of the back, often associated with sitting for extended periods with poor lumbar support. It may cause lower back pain and discomfort. Cell phone elbow. This I am sure a lot of you are affected by. Bending the elbow for long periods of time when using digital devices, it can lead to pinching of nerves that can cause tingling sensation or numbness in your hand. This is also referred to as cubital tunnel syndrome.
Sometimes what happens is, if we are at the verge of feeling all these, we do not take precautionary measures, because we somehow feel that this might not be that serious, or we have this kind of thinking that if it is happening to a second person, that will not happen to me.
Yes.
So that kind of realization, or again the consciousness, has to be built up from within.
Yes. And what happens is that sometimes even becoming aware of something that can be problematic. So now if you know that you might have say a smartphone elbow, and next time you feel the pain or you feel the numbness, you keep your phone aside for some time. I'm not saying keep it aside forever. Keep it aside for 5 minutes and see if the pain improves. And being aware also helps, because sometimes you might not know that it might become problematic over a period of time.
Yes.
There's something called smartphone pinky. Numbness, pain or tingling sensation in your little finger because you're using your phone, smartphone over a long period of time. There's something called texter's thumb. Now if you're gaming or if you're using your phone texting for a long period of time, it might lead to cramping or numbness in your thumb, and even it may extend to your wrist, and that might so what essentially happens is that all of this reduces your productivity. It keeps you in discomfort and reduces your overall productivity as well. So it's important that you be mindful if any of these symptoms are happening to you. You reduce your digital device use, and in case the symptoms persist, then you need to see a physician as well. Now there's a fun activity called the posture police that will help you identify the best posture for those who do not have a choice, who have classes online. So again, this will happen in pairs. One individual is the sloucher, so they will demonstrate poor sitting posture. I don't think we need to demonstrate that, everyone has a poor, the child will purposely sit in a poor posture. Now there is another individual who is referred to as the posture expert. They provide guidelines on proper posture habits and ergonomic practices, and the rest of the class will act as a posture police, and they will point out the errors in the posture of the sloucher after the posture expert has corrected the posture. Now I know what's happening is that all of us are sitting and watching this video either on our smartphones or on our laptops or on our televisions, right? So let's see if your postures are correct. So while using your desktop computers or your laptops, see if you are sitting upright and looking straight ahead. Place the screen right in front of you. You may use a laptop stand or place some books under the monitor or the laptop so that the screen is on your eye level. Avoid bending the neck or trunk. Keep your shoulders relaxed and in a neutral position. Keep the feet flat on the floor and thighs parallel to the ground. Elbows also should be close to the sides. Now, elbows closed when you are working or when you are typing. Avoid resting your elbows on hard surfaces or edges on the table. Wrist should be in a neutral position or a straight position. It should not be overextending, you should not be overreaching for something. And you should take brief breaks while working. Now I'm sure some of you have improved your posture just by listening to the right way to sit.
At least I have.
So while using handheld devices such as smartphones or your tablets, sit or stand upright. Do not slouch or slump. Alternate fingers when using buttons and or your touch screens. Reduce typing strokes. Use speech recognition wherever possible. So send your friends more voice notes, not text messages. Use hands-free devices such as earplugs or headphones. Again, not at a very high volume. You have to maintain that balance. Hold the devices directly in front of the face when using it. Avoid excessive looking down and when reading texts, emails or other information on the device. Take frequent breaks from using the device.
So what I am inferring from all these details is that breaks or being relaxed physically and mentally, it holds much importance, because we are continuously working and sometimes our body is allowing us to work, so we feel the way ki it can be done this way. So we do not feel the need to take rest, but then also it is important.
Exactly. So ideally every 20 minutes you must either check your posture or take a break or look up from your screen, stretch a little, perform some stretching exercises.
Yoga.
Yoga preferably early in the morning. But between the sessions, you can just stretch your shoulders, stretch your fingers, get up, walk for a little bit.
Things actually help.
It helps a lot. Again, so coming back to the activity that I was talking about. So the sloucher is slouching in the incorrect position. The expert will improve their posture based on the sheets that we just saw. And after the sloucher improves the posture expert will declare the sloucher as a posture pro. Now you all know what posture pros mean. We all should aim to become posture pros. Now what the whole class, that is the posture police, will do is they will inspect the posture of the posture pro and point out any incorrect postures or device placements. And the team with the least amount of errors and the best posture wins. So they will be declared the posture pros, and for all the other cyber clubs they must be called posture pros.
Alright, they'll also get the prizes.
Yes. And the prize will be good physical health.
Of course.
We also talked about some asanas that could be performed.
Yes.
Let's look at some. In the cyber clubs, you may demonstrate these asanas, and the rest of the class may take over, may follow and practice these asanas. Exactly.
So let's watch one of the videos of Tadasana.
Tadasana. Tad means palm tree. Keep your feet 2 inches apart. Interlock the fingers and turn the wrist outwards. Inhale. Raise the arms up and bring them in line with the shoulders. Raise the heels off the floor and balance on the toes. Stay in this position for 10 to 15 seconds. This asana brings stability in the body, helps to clear up congestion of the spinal nerves, corrects faulty posture. Exhale, bring the heels down. Release the interlock of the fingers and bring the arms down parallel to the trunk and come back to a standing posture.
Other asanas that you can perform are Vrikshasana, Bhujangasana, this is the cobra pose, and another asana is the Setu Bandhasana or the bridge pose.
I would also like to take a moment to inform all our viewers that right from 8 a.m. till 8:45 a.m. in the morning, CIT NCRT brings you our Yog Shakti program, where we try and demonstrate all these asanas, and with the help of a supervision, a yoga demonstrator, to make it really easy and conducive for all of you. You can also connect for those programs.
That would be ideal. Morning yoga practices are the best, and they will ensure that your postures are correct in the longer run.
Ma'am, with regard to this, I have one question. Sometimes what happens is, as an individual also, I make a goal that I am going to do this, I am going to reach there. Suppose I have an exam tomorrow, so what I make the goal is that I am going to complete my syllabus in the next 4 to 5 hours. But how to implement this goal? Does it even sound realistic? Because in the beginning, when we are so much motivated, we feel like we can do anything. But over a period of time, we realize that somehow it's unrealistic, unreasonable. So how to keep it in the process of going or implementing or not losing hope?
Here we can look at different ways of setting goals. So your goal should be incremental. So if I say I want to reduce my laptop usage, I can't say that I'm going to not use my laptop at all. It should start with, I will reduce my usage for 15 minutes first, then 20 minutes, then probably an hour, and then so on and so forth. So your goals should be incremental. So when you are making those goals, you have to be very mindful. What also happens is that after a period of time, our motivation just diminishes. You just don't, you're not able to follow through. Now cyber clubs here will play a very important role. The peer accountability aspect that I talked about. So if I share my goals with my friends and they ask me about how it's happening and they keep reminding me over a period of time, what also happens is that I feel more motivated to achieve the goal as opposed to someone not telling me or asking me about it. So that is one way. And also what happens is that if I share my goals with 5 people, I feel more motivated to complete them because now my respect is at stake because 5 people know that I have to do this. So again, cyber clubs will play a very important role in the implementation of the goals by enforcing peer accountability.
Also, that kind of a comparison that you just shared with us, how does it take a toll on the or have a psychological impact on our personalities? For example, if another person is doing better than me, again coming to the same point where you said that we are actually a generation that goes behind social media or online validation or approval from the people whom we don't even know.
So this is a very important aspect and actually can play a very debilitating role, because we see someone achieving their goals in say 3 days, losing 5 kgs in a week, and that doesn't happen for you. At this point of time, it is just important to know that you're all different individuals. You will attain goals at a different rate. You would be you would have some strengths, you would have some weaknesses. So while setting goals, this is also a very crucial aspect, that you do a SWOT analysis. You you take into consideration your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities and threats, and then take very considerate steps. And the most important thing is to be respectful to your own self, to respect your own boundaries, to appreciate yourself for achieving even the smallest of your goals.
So one step at a time,
Precisely.
taking small leaps that are going to help us. So ma'am, very quickly, anything else you would like to share with our viewers, because we are running out of time?
The last thing or the most important takeaways would be, while you perform these activities, respect each other. If someone is sharing an important or a very distressing fact about their life, do not make fun of it, because it could be you in their place, right? You have to be empathetic. You have to protect the privacy of your fellow mates. If someone's sharing something, do not go and tell everyone in the school about it, and follow through. Ask your friends. Even asking them how your goals are will help them follow through. So be there for each other.
Of course. So talking about it actually matters. Conversations matter. So thank you so much, Akanksha ma'am, for connecting with us in the conversation and sharing so much important, enlightened pieces of information with all of us. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Simran. Thank you for hosting me.
Thank you to all the viewers who have connected with CIT and CRT for this particular, that is the third day of our online training program, where we discussed at length about the activities or activities in cyber clubs regarding psychological and physical aspects of cyber safety. Well, there are so many aspects attached to that. There are different dimensions. So tomorrow we are going to discuss about the socio-ethical aspects of cyber safety, and on the concluding day of our 5 days 5 hours online training program, we are going to throw more light on the legal aspects. Thank you once again. This is a wrap up for the third day of our online training program on cyber clubs, and viewers, tomorrow also right from 4 till 5 p.m. we will be back with the fourth day discussing more on the socio-ethical aspects. And next up, now we have our Sahyog program, where we try to provide guidance for mental well-being and psychosocial support to all the viewers, the learners who keep on connecting with us. So let's wait for the Sahyog program for 1 to 2 minutes. We'll be right back. So keep watching with their channels. Namaskar.